Do I look like a poor man? I have supported Buhari for 8 years. I have never been a public official. Do I look like a poor man? I have a vibrant law practice with a staff strength that contributes to the country when you employ labor. I pay my staff salary that is commensurable to what some senior advocate pay. Do I look like a poor man? I travel from UK to Nigeria on an average of twice in a month. Do I look like a poor man?
A member of the PDP or the APC?
I'm a member of APC.
Seriously now. What party do you belong?
I have seen this question and agitation from different quarters, and a lot of people make so much of noise about it. When I met with Mr. President, for all the time that we've had talking, there was no mention of leave PDP, there was no mention of coming to APC. Mr. President's passion is about Nigeria, and all that he talked to me is about his plans for Nigeria and how that he's calling on all Nigerians to come together and let us steer this country and solve the problem. And it is on that premise I visited him, and it is on that premise I left the place.
So you do not know whether or not you are in APC or PDP. You are not made up of it.
No, I am a member of PDP, but I said I am supporting the administration of President Bwala Tinubu, and somebody said that means you have joined APC. Then I now added, if supporting the administration of President Bwala Tinubu means going to APC, then so be it.
So you probably, because there are, between PDP and APC, there is another political party in between. There are those who of the school of thought that is the political party that the likes of the FCT minister belongs to, Nyesom Wike, who says he's a member of the PDP, but he's working with President Bwala Tinubu. So you have joined that party led by Nyesom Wike.
There is no party as such, but look at it this way. Elections are over. Decisions, the adjudication also on the election are over. What as a country we are confronted by now is governance. The president on his first speech early this year, on the first day of the year, called on everybody, including members of the opposition, to come together. And that's why I came with this book, Lincoln on Leadership, Executive Strategies for Tough Times. This is what I think that President Bwala Tinubu is trying to do. The leadership of Abraham Lincoln, who at the time led the United States through the Civil War. Now, these are the problems that was confronted at the time. You have the insurgents, what they call the Federalists, or they call them the Confederalists. You have the issue of slavery. You have the issue of challenge against the union. Then you have the issue of the economy, and you have the issue of expansion of the federal government. This was the problem Abraham Lincoln was confronted by. To be able to steer that, he needed to generate and steer national consensus. That means you are rising above the waters and above the level of partisanship. You are looking at government from the perspective that both public and private sector, inclusive of members of other political parties, to come together so we can join our hands and lead the country. The question I think people should rather ask is, does it mean when you say you are going to support President Bwala Tinubu means you are not going to critique policies that you do not disagree with? I think that's what they should ask. He is, again, the president of the Federal Republic. He's the president of the opposition. He's the president of the media. And when I visited, that it generated the question, you know what I asked myself? Governors on the platform of People's Democratic Party, sometimes by going to the presidency, met President Bwala Tinubu, threw their support to him and said they were going to support him. Nobody said they left the PDP. Nobody said that they don't have ideology.
Yours may be different because
why is it?
During the past election campaigns,
right,
you made very strong, unprintable remarks about President Tinubu. Let me remind you of some of the things that you said about him. Let's remind Mr. Bwala some of the things that he said.
Excellent. If you meet Tinubu, he will call Lagos for you. The dynamics in the north, in the west, and the rest of the places are not the same.
You don't think a track record matter in these ways?
I believe track record is much more fundamental, and both of them have not been able to establish a track record. For example, the Lagos of Tinubu, as early as last year, it was adjudged as the second worst city to live and work in. The Lagos of Tinubu is the Lagos where up till this moment people deliver and give birth in the slums. The Lagos of Tinubu is the Lagos that right now you have not been able to overcome what we call the traffic problem. But beyond that, the character of the candidate that govern Lagos is a dynastic type. So when he comes to national government, while he's trying to grapple with the realities of what the national government is, he's going to bring it because he has always said, I will do here what I did in Lagos. What did he do in Lagos? In Lagos, the State House of Assembly they were like boy, what they say. His daughter is the Iyaloja of Lagos. So that means the entire market people of Nigeria will be under the control of his daughter.
This was a man that you criticized heavily. And there are heavier points that we have that we could show Nigerians. What you said, because the conversation is what we need to have. I'm sure more. No, there are more of what you've said, which is out there in the public domain. Yeah. You have even said about joining the APC and what it means to the mental capability of the politician. Now, So what has changed between then and now? You've criticized this man that is not fit to be president.
No, I didn't say he's not fit to be president. I said, in comparison to the candidate I was advocating for, that Atiku Abubakar had superior idea over him. The simple answer is this.
You used to be hold that view.
No, listen to me. The simple answer is this, which President Bwala knows. During electioneering process, it is like a trade fair. You go as a salesman to market your candidate to the Nigerian people. And you market yourself, this one is better than this one can serve a better purpose than this. During the salesmanship or during the trade fairs, often as people will call it. Now, what has changed is your question. What has changed is that then was politicking, political campaign process. Now it is governance. The reality now is that what I argued to persuade the Nigerian people to vote my candidate over him, whether it worked or it didn't work, President Bwala Tinubu is the president. It will amount to insanity to go back to the history and begin to talk about what you cannot change, which is the fact that he is the president and the mandate is for 4 years.
So those decisions you make were not based on ideological or integrity issues.
If I land, you will understand what I'm saying. So what you do as a salesman is to demarcate the suitability of the other product and market the suitability of your product. It's a fair play. It's a principle of fair play. It is like in the football. You play for Chelsea, you play for Arsenal. You do your best to support your club. When the match is ended, people shake their hands, people move, and they move to the other lives. Can you imagine after Chelsea and Manchester United finish playing ball and the match is ended and they go to the street and they continue playing there? Does it make sense? That's the rules of politics. And so as a spokesman, that was my duty. And I did that. I dispensed or I exhibited what I believe to be the quality to the best of my knowledge. But let me tell you what will surprise you and many Nigerians who are watching tonight. When I walked in to meet Mr. President, the first thing he said was, Daniel Bwala, it's nice to see you. I have been following your interviews and even your tweets about your opinion on issues of government. And I must say, I'm quoting, I must say, you are one of the most intelligent young men, very articulate and respectful in the conduct of your duty. Please sit down. Well, then, game over. So for anybody who wants to be a critic, that's why I talked about Lincoln on leadership. When you are genuinely a leader, you will understand the difference.
So this is about President Tinubu, not really about what you have done. Because
what I've done,
in the sense that if he doesn't have a good character to have drawn you to himself, it wasn't about what you have done to him, because some leaders will never have called you to
right. So that's what makes him exceptional.
So that is what I played out.
It's a quality. And let me tell you the second one. He now told me, when you left, if I tell you I was not happy or I was happy, I would lie to you. I didn't fancy your leaving. Then he went ahead to address why I left and why he thought I should not have left, because he does not represent the character of somebody that will use religion to disenfranchise people. He gave me facts and figures, and they cannot be controversial.
But that was the reason you left the APC, because of religion.
When I left because of the same-faith ticket. The opinion has been expressed everywhere. The election is over. We are now in governance. As a Christian, the Bible says no man wield power unless it is given to him by God. Secondly, the Bible says people in authority, you should pray for them and you obey them. So for those who want to say because you criticize that proposition and therefore now you're supporting the administration, therefore it amounts to hypocrisy. And you don't laugh at people. I'm sorry,
you don't think it is hypocrisy.
It's not hypocrisy.
What you fought and you left, you said on ideological basis, on the basis of your faith, that you do not support,
advocate for that. Yeah,
you did not support the Tinubu ticket because it's a Muslim ticket.
Correct.
It's against your faith, and you.
I didn't say against my faith.
But now you do not agree with it.
No.
You do not agree.
Let's get the word straight. I didn't say against my faith. I say against my conviction. The point is, now he's the president. Who gave him the power to be president? Is it not God?
But is it now in your conviction? It was
the Bible says, pray for your leaders. Pray for your leaders in authority and obey them.
So ideologically, you don't think that switching from what you do not believe or convinced about, and now arguing that same thing that you were not convinced about, is hypocrisy.
Now, it's not hypocrisy. Let me tell you one fact that some people who are trying to eulogize and overblow a perception in this life. You had a relationship before you got married, probably, and you thought you were going to marry the girl. It didn't work out. You ended up getting married. A pastor in a church thought that this is everything. He later left the church and started his own. So a member of a church is attending this church. He changed to another church. A media mogul may be working in this television house, tomorrow he changed to another medium. A businessman will be doing this line of business, tomorrow he changed. A footballer is in this club, tomorrow he changes. These things are the normal course of events in life. Facts change opinion. You make decisions based on available facts. Do you get the point? The fact that he was not a president, but a candidate running to be a president, at a time when my principal work was to sell my candidate more over and above him, I dispatched or I executed, like I often get the wrong word, the best way to use that. I discharged my duty to the best of my knowledge. But facts have changed, and this is where we should elevate the argument in Nigeria to a point where our people will stop thinking this primordial thinking. Can you imagine in religion a pastor can leave the church and start a church? They don't say he doesn't have ideology. They don't say he doesn't have conviction. They don't say beliefs. But in politics, which principally is a game that is based on national interest, group interest, peers interest, and the general cause of purposeful event. Now, the Constitution of Nigeria, which I believe is above what you think, above what I think, guarantees the right of association. The Constitution does not limit the frequency of the guarantee. Some of the people we advocate for have changed political parties, and then you are now condemning me. I have not even said I have left PDP.
Mr. Bwala, this is an ideological issue. This is a moral issue.
What is it about morality?
Your decision to say that, oh, President Tinubu, whatever he's doing now, you are willing and you are now convinced, you're saying otherwise, based on whatever you have told Nigeria.
Right.
You know how influential your voice was during the election.
Yes,
so simply what you're telling every Nigerian who believed you at the time, who you have sold Atiku Abubakar to, say, please forget whatever I sold to you that time. Just believe what I said now.
No,
how do you think they see you?
How I want him to see is that Atiku Abubakar right now is not a president. There is no campaign going on at the moment, and so it will be futile to be advocating for what does not exist. Whether they like it, or whether I like it, or whether anybody else likes it or not, President Bwala Tinubu is the president of the republic.
And you see Atiku Abubakar, you betrayed him and you jump ship.
It is absolute nonsense for somebody to say, because I say I will support President Bwala Tinubu, therefore it betrays Atiku.
Because you supported Atiku Abubakar.
Yes.
Isn't that a betrayal in your own books?
I sold Atiku Abubakar during the election.
You supported him.
I supported him during the election. It never worked. Even Atiku Abubakar is called upon to support President Bwala Tinubu. That is the way democracy works. Once the politics
of lack of ideology, the politics of lack of integrity,
what is the ideology?
Politics of lack of consistency.
What is the ideology?
As a political person, do you think that you have followers who listen and believe what you say?
All you need to do is to, as we are talking, go through the comment section and then go through the social media, listen to the mass. You see, let me tell you something about Nigeria. There are echo chambers of political affiliation and entanglement, but the greater number of Nigerians are not partisan. They don't belong to a political party. A man who is in Kara Namoda now, who is struggling to find food to eat, doesn't care whether you're in APC or PDP. The man that is in Alimosho right now, who is looking for food to feed his children or transport to go, does not care whether the flag of your party is red or black. The man that is in
the question I'm asking you, Mr. Bwala, is given your history of vocal criticism of President Tinubu, how do you expect the public to trust your current endorsement? That is a moral burden that you have on you, and that's the question I'm asking.
No matter what you do from now till the end of eternity, somebody's perception, somebody's thought and opinion is his property. People who have a rational mind will rationalize what you're saying. Those whose minds are crooked, there's nothing you will do to control.
What the people in PDP are saying, they say you didn't even wait for 1 year. You were easily now turned, and you've jumped ship. And let me now ask you this. One of the things that are suggesting that your change of stance might be influenced by personal gains.
Give me an example of the
promises. I'm asking you know better.
No, you say know why they have to have a.
They are suggesting that the reason why is anywhere but left is politics.
Now,
whatever suits your pocket, and whatever suits the gains and the promises that you have been made. Have you been made a promise?
I'm coming. So fantastic. I long for this opportunity to be able to answer. Do I look like a poor man? I have supported Buhari for 8 years. I have never been a public official. Do I look like a poor man? I have a vibrant law practice with a staff strength that contributes to the country when you employ labor. I pay my staff salary that is commensurable to what some senior advocate pay. Do I look like a poor man? I travel from UK to Nigeria on an average of twice in a month. Do I look like a poor man? How much is the flight ticket? Do I look like a poor man? I have supported causes. Do I look like a poor man? You see, when people are bereft of ideas, and there are some people who are innocent in their thinking. That's sometimes when we talk, our focus is on those whose minds are rational. You try to persuade them. For those whose minds are made up, there is nothing you can do about it. And when somebody says belefice, then when I was on the article, what is the belefidin? You see, I don't know the way people, and then
because when you were leaving the APC, it was said that the only reason why you went to Atiku to support Atiku is that you got a promise.
Yes.
And now the reason is that afterwards, there isn't anything to hold on to, and that's why they promise you something again on the other side, and you are easily swayed by it.
So you see, people are even unfair to President Bwala Tinubu, to be honest. What did he promise? I never promised. He has never promised.
So are you saying that if he gives you any role to play, you will not take it?
No, I said he has never promised anything.
On your own, you say that your support is based on not based on any material benefit. Right. You're saying that if he offers you a position and a role in government, you will not take it.
Let me tell you this. If the president makes an offer of a position that I see that will contribute to the development of his agenda, because I say I will support his agenda, I will more than anything else appreciate it. But it is not the appointment that I am looking for to support it. That's why I'm telling you, 8 years I supported Bwala. I was not a public official. You see, you have to separate between those who do not have value and are cringing and crying for appointment, and those who believe the value and what they will contribute has nothing to do with whether you're appointed or you're not appointed. But I can understand when people rate you and then they see what you can bring to the table. Sometimes people do what we call preemptive action. They can preempt it. And I say so many things in the media. He promised this. He said, I want to say to everybody listening, President Bwala Tinubu has not promised me anything. I went to tell him, I'm supporting your... And let me tell you, Mr. Sheun, and to every Nigerian here, except if you want to be hypocritical, life is in phases. Men are in sizes. When somebody who didn't have any reason to listen to you at all, because you were critical of his administration, chooses to sit down with you and give you unusual minutes, he didn't need to, and explain one by one policy decision he has taken, some of which you have criticized, and ask you to join the cause of advancing the progress of his government. If you don't have personal grudge, I don't think there's nothing wrong in supporting this government. But let me even ask you, for the people who are saying you let PDP, I want to tell you and beat my chest from the depth of my heart, from the honesty of my heart. Those people that are saying this, what have they said to the governors that went and told President Bwala Tinubu will support you? Have they said anything in media? What have they said on the appointment? A leader of PDP is a minister in this government. What have they said? A few days ago, the G5 said 2027 they will support President Bwala Tinubu. What have they said? Have you seen any press statement?
That's the question. I'm asking you this moral question because there are those who believe that our politics should be played based on ideology.
And I ask you what is ideology?
An idea.
So what is the idea?
So when politicians keep changing, do you understand the ideals of the APC? Because from what the two parties have told us, they're two different. One says that is the left of the center. One says it's the right of the center.
And when you ask
so do you believe that they have different ideologies?
Let me tell you, every political party in Nigeria today, what they call ideology centers around chapter 2, derivative principles of state policy, provision of welfare, social services, security, and the rest. There is no marked difference in terms of saying you want to compare it with the US. Where when you say a Republican, they know they kick against taxation. They believe in the sovereignty of America. They hate the idea of government giving out interventions. When you say Democrats, they believe in certain ideology. Tell me what APC or PDP is doing that the other one say we won't do.
So you think they're the same thing?
I am saying that the ideology of every political party in Nigeria, since the evolution, maybe at the beginning of the republic, people were ideologically driven. But since when I knew from 1999 till today, it centers around chapter 2.
So it's easy for politicians to move here and there. Because ideologically, they are diffused.
Let me even come straight and hard. Even ideology, you have the right to change ideology. That's why in America, families that are Republican from their third generation, they choose to be Democrats. Facts change opinion.
So you're telling Nigerians that whatever they are hearing from you tonight, they should not believe in it 100%. You could change tomorrow.
I don't understand what I'm saying.
Because you say ideologies change.
Of course, ideologies change.
And because they now see Mr. Bwala in less than 2 years, you have moved back and forth in terms of your beliefs and your standing.
Oh God! Let me what language? Okay,
your friend Shegun Showumi has asked you to secure a space for him in APC in joining the party. Is that correct?
I saw the video and I do not think that Shegun Showumi was actually saying that because he meant it. That's why I believe in context. For those who choose not to believe in context when they listen to something, Shegun Showumi in that Twitter space also was reacting to the fact that he has served in this party, he has been set faithful in the party for a long time, and people didn't want to appreciate it. Then he now said, "Well, keep it safe, so I'm coming." So I believe that it is a reactionary comment. It does not go to suggest that it is something that is thought out or that he said. Yet I cannot doubt that possibility. So it's up to him. But I choose as a rational human being not to judge people on the basis of statement. I put the context to it.
Is PDP imploding?
Imploding like what?
If you are saying that you're supporting President Tinubu and some people are grumbling in the party, Shegun Showumi either seriously or unseriously say, keep a space for me in the APC that you are joining. It gives an inference or an implication that the PDP may be in trouble.
Oh, it's today you're knowing that the PDP is in trouble.
So the PDP is in trouble.
I have been like John the Baptist for the past, if not 6 to 9 months, alone, calling out the leadership of the party and leaders of the party to do what is right. The video is there, the comment is there, and everything is there. In fact, I even caution that for any political party to have the chance of unseating President Bwala Tinubu, it will take a coalition. So the position that PDP is having a problem is not in doubt. It's not in doubt at all.
So if your argument tonight is that, we were doing the election and I was selling the candidate that I believed in, those who will say, no, you're wrong. Even a few days ago, you see, criticize Bwala Tinubu. Take a listen. Let me remind you of what you said. Because the question of what has changed is fundamental here. Take a listen to Mr. Bwala right here on this channel a few days ago.
Right.
Nigerians were thrown into deeper stress, deeper problems. And let me even tell you, last week, there was an annual program in Yaba where the psychiatric hospital in Yaba reported over 100% intake of people with mental problems. This is due to hardship. You have seen in the last 7 months how people are jumping to the lagoons, how people are shooting and killing themselves because of the hopelessness of the situation that Nigerians have gotten into.
What you're wearing is different. So, but is that the same Daniel Bwala?
Yes, what has changed? Good. If you can be willing to hear my answer, I quoted a fact and a report in Yaba. That fact has not changed. What is the context to the fact? President Tinubu was not the one that introduced hardship to Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria was terribly buffeted by hardship. That's why the election, everybody went to campaign for his candidate. What I will tell you today, and you have a lot of time you can put out, is that I was consistently criticizing the economic policy of President Bwala Tinubu. The removal of fuel subsidy was one of it, for which I over and over kicked against it. But let me tell you, when I sat across with the president, this is what the president told me. When I took over power, there was nothing on ground in terms of finance that you can begin to execute in the work. And because there was nothing, you cannot go and borrow everything in life to solve the problem of Nigerian people. I was confronted by two choices. Number one, to remove, that is when I won the election, to remove the fuel subsidy, in which case it will be hard on the people anyway, but that at least we'll be able to save some money to begin to see what we can do about it, or to just let the thing fly, and then we are stoned because we are unable to handle that situation. He now looked at me in the face and said, in life as a leader, you will be confronted with tough decisions. At that point, your character will be judged by your courage. That to me is impressive. And that to me has given me the context as to the reason why
you change your mind from that.